Welcome to the Ben Gregersen Show. We have a lot to discuss tonight. There's a lot in the news, and there's a lot of subjects that I want to, really dig into and get my thoughts out there. Barack Obama gave a speech today. He said we need to disarm our nuclear weapons in order to make the world more safe. To me, Obama's argument on this nuclear thing sounds an awful lot like his argument on gun control. Oh yeah, we got to get rid of all our guns because if we get rid of all our guns, we're gonna be safer. Yeah. Let's take away everybody's guns and the world will be a safer place. Well, we all know that that's not true because once you outlaw guns, the only people that are going to have guns are the criminals. I mean, law-abiding citizens like me and like you, we're going to follow the law. If the government tells us no more guns, we're going to get rid of our guns because that's the law, and we're good people and we follow the law. But how many of you out there think that criminals follow the law? I don't think anybody thinks that. I don't know a single criminal out there that is going to follow the law. If this criminal wants to shoot people, if this criminal wants to rob a bank with a gun, he's going to do it. This nuclear weapons argument sounds very similar. We need to get rid of all the nuclear weapons. We need to start disarming ourselves. But how many rogue nations do you think are going to disarm their nuclear arsenal? I mean, you've got Iran out there who's building up their nuclear arsenal, and you've got North Korea out there that's building up their nuclear arsenal. You've got a bunch of terrorists out there that really want to get their hands on some nuclear weapons. Do you think these terrorists and these rogue nations and these dictators, do you think these people are going to disarm themselves? I don't think so. If we start disarming our nuclear weapons, we are neutering our defenses. And we are making it easier for our enemies to attack us. I mean, think of how dangerous that is if our enemies have more nuclear weapons than we do. I don't know, that's a scary thing to think about. I mean, I'd be terrified if I knew that our enemies had more weapons than we do, and if they had more firepower than we do. Would our enemies fear us if they had bigger guns and bigger sticks than we do? I don't think so. Our enemies would not fear a denuclearized America. So Obama's argument on this nuclear thing is pretty stupid if you ask me. I mean, we've got our enemies out there building their nuclear programs. They're trying to increase their nuclear capability, and while all this is happening, we got Obama out there wanting America to get rid of all its nuclear weapons. So yeah, we're going to let our enemies build them up, and we're going to disarm ourselves. And I promise all of you out there that if we disarm ourselves, the world will be less safe. And we, the United States of America, we will be left vulnerable. We will be vulnerable from an attack by our enemies. Are our enemies going to be afraid to attack us if they have more weapons than we do, and if they have nukes and we don't? No. The only thing that could stop a rogue nation is if we have more firepower than our enemies. Peace through strength. That's what Ronald Reagan championed, and that's what I believe in. The stronger America is militarily, the more peace there's going to be in the world. The good guys need to be strong. We can't start disarming ourselves, while our enemies are increasing their stockpiles of nuclear capability. Let's move on. there's some other things that the Obama administration has done this week. The Obama administration has announced that they are going to start negotiations with terrorists, with the Taliban. They're going to negotiate with the Taliban without preconditions, which is ridiculous. It's silly. You want to know something? I thought that we had a long-standing policy in this country that we do not negotiate with terrorists. That's always been our policy in the United States. We do not negotiate with terrorists. But yet we got the Obama administration out there wanting to negotiate with terrorists. They really want to negotiate with the Taliban. In fact, they seemed quite excited about it when they announced it. So that disturbs me, and I find that very troubling, especially because immediately after we announced that we wanted to negotiate with them, they started attacking us. Yeah, there were attacks that were leveled against us in the Middle East immediately after we announced that we wanted to negotiate with them. So, it's just a stupid idea. Also, something else is in the news this week, and it's illegal immigration. There's a lot of talk about illegal immigration. And here's my thoughts. If the Republican Party wants to survive, they cannot give illegal immigrants amnesty. We gave illegal immigrants amnesty in the 1980s. And let's not forget that it was a Republican president that gave illegal immigrants amnesty in the 1980s. And immediately after we gave them amnesty, California turned into a Democrat state. We lost California forever. Before the 1987 amnesty, California was a Republican state. I mean, Republicans dominated in California. I mean, we had Republican governors, Republican senators, Republican mayors all over that state. And then the 1980s amnesty comes in and California turns blue. Immediately. Lost. And that's what's going to happen again if we do amnesty again. But I fear that this time we may lose the country. The entire country may turn blue if we go for amnesty this time. I mean, I got to tell you though, there's a false perception out there that Republicans are anti-immigrant. No, we're not anti-immigrant, and we're not anti-immigration. We just want immigration to be legal. We want immigration to be done right. If you give people amnesty that snuck across the border, that's just going to encourage more people to illegally sneak across the border. They'll say, hey, yeah, it's a lot easier to come in illegally. If I sneak in, yeah, the government's going to make me a citizen. You know, why get in the back of the line? Why come in the way I'm supposed to come in? You know, I'll just sneak across and I'll be good. And heck, I'll get welfare checks too. And I'll get free health care even though I'm not a citizen yet. I mean, right now we are encouraging illegal immigrants to come across the border, to sneak over here. And if we give them amnesty, we'll just be encouraging more people to sneak over and come in the wrong way, which is sad. If we really want to fix our immigration problem, what we need to do is simplify our immigration law. Right now, a lot of these people sneak across the border because it's too complicated. To come over here legally is too complicated. They think, oh man, I don't want to deal with all this bureaucracy and all this complicated stuff. I think it's easier just to sneak over. So that's what they do. They sneak over to skip all the complicated crap. It's too complicated. Our immigration system is too complicated. We need to simplify it the same way we need to simplify the tax code. And let's make it more simple. Let's make people want to come in the right way. And I think that people that have snuck over here, that they should, I believe that they need to leave the country and come back in the right way. But after they come back in the right way, they need to pay a fine. There needs to be a punishment. I mean, we got to punish people for breaking our laws. If you don't punish them for breaking the law, you're encouraging them to break the law. So we need to start enforcing the law. Let's simplify the immigration system. Let's make it, a simpler process for them to come over here. And let's really be strict about enforcing the law. If somebody sneaks over here, we need to, those people, if they ever want to become a citizen, they need to leave and come back in the right way. And after they come back in the right way, I think that there needs to be a fine. Hello, welcome to the Ben Gregersen Show.
Hi, I'm trying to get a hold of you here, and I lost your number. Yeah, listen, I want to know. This upsets me about Rubio getting that thing passed. To stop the illegal aliens from, give them amnesty, and what do you think about that?
What do I think about that?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I think Marco Rubio is a good conservative, and he's, I like him a lot, and I find it really sad that he's being played,
Oh, I liked him. Now I don't know if I'd even vote for him for anything.
Yeah, he's kind of to me it seems like he's kind of a pushover here. And I feel like he's being played by the Democrats, and he doesn't know it. He doesn't know that they're, that they're setting up a trap for him, and that this isn't good.
Yeah. Well, I can't believe with after 9/11 that this is, they're allowing this to happen, so that they can let people just walk through the gates and not have to even worry about it. And, I just can't believe that they're allowing that. And I'll tell you that Sheriff Joe in Arizona, he's done everything to try to solve this problem. Now, what's going to happen with his efforts?
Well, I agree. I agree. I don't know. And they actually haven't passed an immigration law yet. There's been some amendments and stuff that... The sad thing about it, they're trying to get it passed, but all the things that were supposed to be tough on, on securing the border in this law, all those measures were voted down. So now there's nothing in this law that's going to, enforce our border security laws.
Yeah.
All the things that, all the amendments and stuff that were in there to increase border security, all those things got voted down. So now all this law is an amnesty law. There's nothing there to secure the border. And I think that's really sad.
Well, it is. It's just very disheartening because so many people have tried to, have been hoping that something would happen and they would pass a law that would allow people to arrest people when they come in, and you can't even do anything when they go through your town, unless they run a red light or something. You can't even stop them.
Absolutely, and that's definitely a problem.
Yeah, it is. Well, darn. Well, I wanted to call and just get your ideas on it because I thought Ben will know.
Well, what I think needs to happen is I think the best way that we could solve it one of the best ways we could solve it is if we simplify the immigration system. We need to simplify it the same way that we need to simplify the tax code. One of the reasons a lot of these, these illegal aliens, one of the reasons a lot of them sneak across the border is because it's too complicated to do it the right way. It's too complicated to come in legally. They sneak across because they think, I want to skip over all this complicated crap. See, one thing our government is good at is taking something that should be simple and making it really complicated.
Yeah, that's true.
And a lot of these people just don't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
And with people, and I also think with people that have snuck across the border and broken our laws, that if those people ever want to become citizens, they need to leave this country and come back in the right way. Mm-hmm. And after they come back in the right way, they need to pay a fine. Why? Because there needs to be a punishment for breaking our laws.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. If we had a law, it doesn't look like the law's there for them anymore in order to do anything.
No, it isn't. And that's what's wrong with it. I mean, we are encouraging bad behavior by not punishing people for breaking the law.
Yeah, that's right. Well, a lot of those people that come in over the border. I mean, this sounds like you just walk over the border, but a lot of those people are walking for miles and miles and miles, and they have no water, and a lot of people are even providing water for them. They go out and make sure they have some water because a lot of them die along the way even. It's hot, it's not an easy thing for them to do that. But they want to come to America so bad, that's what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean,
there's a lot of good people that are so poor and they just want to escape Mexico's harsh ways, And so you can understand why they want to do that. And they're not being able to do it legally, but, there's so many other people that are bringing over marijuana and guns and everything else, along with them. So, there's a lot of bad people coming over, not just the poor people that are looking for a job.
Absolutely, and we need to, that's why we need to secure our border. And you probably know this, but in 2007, I believe, we actually passed a law to build a fence along the border. And the fence has still never been built. See, we're not even enforcing that law.
Yeah.
We passed a law to build the fence, to build the wall along the border.
Wow, how
still
long
not, ago? Just in 2007.
Yeah.
Actually, it was either 2006 or 2007, one of the two.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I think there's a problem here with enforcing the law.
Mm-hmm.
I think that we could fix a lot of these problems if we just enforce the current immigration laws.
Mm-hmm. Well, they got to do something. I don't know what. Now this just takes the pressure off of anybody doing anything. I just wonder what Sheriff Joe will do.
I don't know.
He doesn't have anything to back him up.
No, and they keep on taking. A lot of these liberals keep on taking the stuff that Sheriff Joe is doing, and they keep taking it to the Supreme Court. And then the Supreme Court strikes it down. Even though it's perfectly legal because it's the current law of the land. There's nothing unconstitutional about it. He's just enforcing the law that already exists.
Mm-hmm.
So it's sad that the Supreme Court keeps striking down the stuff that Sheriff Joe was doing because all Sheriff Joe is doing is enforcing the law as it currently exists.
Yeah.
There's nothing illegal about it. There's nothing unconstitutional about it. So why isn't the Supreme Court backing him up?
I don't know. The Supreme Court's fallen down as far as my opinion on an awful lot of things.
They definitely have, and the Supreme Court is writing laws, and they
Yeah.
shouldn't be.
Yeah, yeah.
Supreme Court isn't part of the legislative branch.
Roberts really let everybody down. We never did think that he would go, in favor of the things that he went for.
Yeah, that was a sad deal.
Yeah, yeah.
And that still is perplexing to me because he voted against Obamacare, and then at the last minute he changed his vote.
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't know what happened. I know that Justice Kennedy said that there was outside pressure.
Yeah.
Somebody was pressuring him from the outside. So we don't really know what happened, but it was a sad deal because now we're stuck with Obamacare.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the only hope we've got, Ben, is to, for the states to stand up and refuse to do it. Because they can do it. The states can do it.
Absolutely.
Texas is bowing clear out.
Absolutely.
And I think Idaho will. I hope Idaho does. Usually they follow through with, they pretty much follow what Texas does.
Yeah, well, one of the sad things about Idaho is that we've set up a health care exchange, which is part of the Obamacare law.
Mm-hmm.
Sadly, I wish they would have said we weren't doing the exchange, but Idaho went along with it. So,
oh, boy.
So I don't know.
I missed that. I didn't think they were.
Yeah, they went along with the state-based exchange.
Oh, boy. Because, the states are really powerful. The states would just stand up and say, we are not going to do this stuff, We're going to be more independent. Pretty soon after everything gets in a big mess, all the states are going to be breaking up and there won't be a United States anymore.
Well, and that's true, The states, I hope that never happens, but...
I don't think it will, especially Texas wants to pull out.
Yeah.
For one right there.
It's true. I think that I think it's likely that there's going to be issues, with that very likely could happen.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, I think it sure will if they have their way. They got a lot of money in Texas.
It's true. Well, and their state is in good shape, too.
Yeah, it is. They're doing better than anybody.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they are. Well, I'll let you go, Ben. Thanks for talking with me, and let's get this mess straightened out.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen. Every day it gets a little worse.
You're welcome.
Okay. Talk to you next week.
Okay, talk to you next week.
Enjoy your show.
Okay, have a good night. I'm going to pull up the phone number here so people can call. There's another subject I wanted to discuss tonight, and that's this Verizon wireless scandal. It's another scandal hitting the Obama administration. It seems like there's a new scandal all the time. I always thought that Bill Clinton was the scandalous, that was the scandalous administration, but I think Obama has beaten Clinton, as far as scandals go. So Obama is now officially the scandal in chief in my book. But I wanted to discuss this phone thing, and basically what's happening is the Obama administration is collecting the phone records of all U.S. customers of Verizon for a 3-month period ending on July 19th, compiling the communication histories of millions of U.S. citizens indiscriminately and in bulk, regardless of whether they are suspected of any wrongdoing. The author of the Patriot Act said that this secret program, under which the Obama administration is collecting phone records from millions of Americans, is excessive and un-American and beyond the scope of the law. The Bush warrantless wiretaps involved foreign telephone calls. Remember when the left was getting so aggravated over the Bush warrantless wiretaps? They were involving domestic to foreign phone calls and foreign to domestic. The Bush administration was not monitoring domestic phone calls, contrary to what you were told or maybe led to believe. Obama, on the other hand, is monitoring domestic phone calls, which is illegal. Monitoring domestic phone calls is illegal, even under the Patriot Act. The Patriot Act did not legalize warrantless wiretaps on domestic phone calls made by United States citizens. Warrantless wiretaps on domestic phone calls was illegal before the Patriot Act, and it's still illegal under the Patriot Act. Obama is in direct violation of the Patriot Act, and he is in direct violation of the United States Constitution. The liberals never understood the Patriot Act to begin with. You liberals told the American people that the Bush administration was wiretapping our phone lines here in America, which was a lie. In reality, the Bush administration was only tapping phone calls made by terrorists overseas. The liberals lied to the American people about the Patriot Act for 8 years. Apparently, our president still doesn't understand the law, and he still believes the lies, because when he became president, he suddenly thought that he had the authority to start monitoring domestic phone calls made by Americans. Our president is so ignorant that he actually thinks it's legal for him to do this. You Democrats are hypocrites, because you are actually doing the very thing that you falsely accused the Bush administration of doing. The truth is, I'm not actually a huge fan of the Patriot Act. I don't really like it much. I just think it's important to point out that the Obama administration's secret phone program is illegal, even under the Patriot Act. Bush only wiretapped terror suspects from other countries. Obama wiretapped every single American, even those uninformed enough to vote him into power. Every American should be furious about what's going on in our government today. And we need to stand up and we need to fight.